gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Porterway Podcast. I don't do this often enough, I don't think.
The show? It's once a week, man. That's plenty.
No, I mean like the introductions and you know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where they're at on your screens, but you know, we got Carson A. Merck. We have Anthony Brennaugh.
On time today.
Shawn Zittel with the boxing
FightHype. Yeah.
FightHype.
Back-to-back weeks of doing that.
FightHype.
Whatever.
FightHype.
Yeah, can we get hometown intros too? You know, what college? Or
It might be a copyright thing. Shawn just doesn't want to say FightHype. He's just like boxing excitement.
Hey, he coming out with Shawn Zittel hype in a minute.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say who I hear more about, but you know.
Hype Williams.
Oh.
What is it? FightHype? I got you.
Yes.
I think from now on, FightHype.
No worries, Shawn.
Until next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Fight hype. So what's going on in boxing, Shawn Zittel, not Shawn Porter? What's going on in boxing, man?
Hold on. Let me say what I got to say first.
Oh, bad.
Blessings is pouring down in the Porter household.
Okay, what we got?
We had a relative turn 100 years old.
Okay.
And not the 100 that you guys, I'm sure, are probably envisioning, but or imagining.
One more than 99?
Yeah, Carson.
Huh?
Okay, I'm lost
You said
now.
the 100 that we're thinking of, like,
Well, because
99.
I think. Oh, well, tell me if I'm right, if I'm wrong. But my 100-year-old great, possibly great auntie, she can still feed herself. She can speak with no problem. She remembers her life, remembers her stories. My dad had someone come and document the party last night, and the person wanted to do interviews with everyone and ends up talking to her for like 30 minutes. And it was genuine conversation, not her having to repeat things or, you know, anything like that at all. You know what I mean? So she is a fully operating 100-year-old woman, which I think is pretty rare, especially in this day and age. So
I get it now. The wording was strange. Like,
what'd I do?
Like,
what'd I say?
Well, you said not the 100 you're thinking of. And I was so it was that she is doing especially well for somebody that is 100. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Did she have any like gems you can drop on us that she gave you over the weekend, or
not me. Well, I mean, for me, I think the gem was, so I let everybody else be with her and spend time with her and everything. And then my dad was like, hey, you need to, you know, go over there and take some pictures with her and things like that. And I said, you know what? I don't want to just take a picture with the woman and say I was with my 100-year-old auntie. Like, I want to at least have some type of conversation with her and things like that. So I've been down. Flora is her name. So she's my Aunt Flora. And for most of the people there was Grandma Flora. But for me, I've been down for Aunt Flora, and she's trying to open up her candy. And I said, Auntie, you need me to open that for you? She said, yeah, please. Can you open it? And when I grabbed it, she had already got it ripped and everything. She just kind of needed the rest of that done. So I opened it up, and anybody who knows that I have a sweet tooth, I gave it to her. She says, you can tell them they need to bring some more candy over here. I said, I don't think you should have any more candy. But, you know, I was able to kind of, I guess in that small little moment, see, you know, someone who's still got plenty of personality, plenty of character, and a little bit of attitude too, you know. So
was it Werther's or was it the strawberry candies?
It was a Snickers.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just a classic old timer candy.
It had a one of our cousins put her face on the 100 the 100 grand candy bar.
Underrated candy bar as well.
It is an underrated candy bar. I said, she said, you need to tell them to bring some more candy over here. I said, well, you got 100 grand bar right here. You want this? And she said, yeah, I'll take that. I said, well, do you like it? Do you want something else? She said, no, that's fine. I was like, look at this woman doing her thug thizzle at 100 years old, you know? So she had fun. Yeah, man. They were playing music and she was bobbing her head, you know what I mean? And on beat and all that kind of stuff.
You want that at 100, don't you?
Listen. I didn't.
I'll be dead long before I get
there.
there.
Carson, I'm good. I told my lady all the time I'm good at 50.
Yeah, probably,
I'm 34. I'm good at 50.
Oh.
Y'all lose me
I'm
at
not
50.
getting no. I'm not getting
Hey,
no
Anthony
100
was
out
good.
somewhere. Yeah,
What?
I'm good at 50.
You talking about
I kept telling myself like this is not about you. But I kept thinking like, yeah, if I can get to 100, I was like, this ain't about you though. It's about her, But it was special. I'm glad that I came home for this just a few days, and then real quick, I'm off to do NBC in New York at West Point. NBC fights are on Thursday. So real quick, the main event is Stephen Shaw, who is 14-0 against a guy by the name of, last name is Franklin. What is his first name? I'm forgetting his first name.
the turtle, Combo Franklin,
and he's 18-0. So we got 14-0 against 18.
Heavyweights too.
At heavyweight,
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun fight.
It should be fun. Actually, should be fun. I got some work that I need to get done for that to for my side of that. But when I keep looking at it not on paper, but like looking at both these guys' fighting styles.
Shawn,
like,
both guys undefeated.
Yeah,
Woo!
18-0 against 14-0. It's gonna be a good fight.
You'll see a lot of that.
Yeah.
NBCSN per usual, Ring City, USA.
Yes, sir.
That has been I know you mentioned it previously, but that has been a common thing with some fan questions. They'll like include, oh, hey, by the way, I wouldn't know about these Ring City fights if it weren't for the podcast. So
yeah, I've seen that a few times.
So that seems to be a nice little bonus. We had a lot of boxing yesterday, though. Some good, some bad, some strange, good, bad, and the ugly.
Because I never want to disrespect anybody, or I never want anybody to feel disrespected. So I always just want to make sure I get their names right and all that kind of stuff. Jermaine, that's his name.
Yeah,
Jermaine Franklin, and he's coming out of Saginaw, Michigan. So
yeah, should we start with Michigan? Should we start with Tony Harrison then?
Let's do it.
Oh man, Tony!
Got to get some people to tune off the Thursday night basketball games on TNT and flip to Ring City, right, Shawn? Right, guys?
There you go. Yeah.
Double screen that. But
there you go.
Yeah, Tony Harrison. So my initial takeaway from the draw, and correct me if I'm wrong, did he maybe just look past this guy a little bit?
He did not look like the Tony and the Charlo fight, man.
Either Charlo fight.
You're right. Exactly.
I think it was a mix between the rust, being off almost a year and a half, and him underestimating Perrella a little bit, because he showed no regard in his defense, especially in the first 8 rounds or so, just walking him down.
Mm-hmm.
He did that good in the second Charlo fight. He walked Charlo down in the middle portion of that fight, but he kept his defense very tight.
Mm-hmm.
And with Perrella, I get why Carson would ask if he underestimated him, because he was walking him down with little to no regard for what was coming back, and because of it, he got nailed a number of times and stunned a number of times in that fight. That's why he got the draw.
Yeah, it was like you said, it was a lack of regard for what Perrella brought it. He was there all night. He was there to win, and yeah, Harrison just like he was there to be hit a lot more than we've seen him recently. There to be hit, and even if I know they mentioned on the commentary, there's sometimes where he's getting hit and his head is popping back. So whether it's hurting him or not, it's the judges'
it's a point,
and it's a point, and the judges can see that. So yeah, it was an odd performance. What do you think, SP?
It's I think it's always a fine line between making excuses and just trying to like really figure out what the real true reason is. Why. Somebody underperforms or doesn't really do what you expect them to do. The first thought is that he did, in fact, underestimate Perrella. But when you take a closer look, you do have to consider everything that he's been through in the last year now. Yeah, maybe even less than a year. And I don't want to contribute at all just to obviously probably the biggest death in his life with being his dad. But his dad also being his coach. Yeah. As soon as he comes to the ring, I look at my dad like, "Hey, who's did you see who's working his corner?" Well, his brother's working his corner. That's the natural maturation of his life and his life in the ring, because brother was always in the corner. And so when you say, well, his head coach, who was his dad, is not there anymore, but the guy who really has a bigger voice than his dad is right there. I kind of feel like I should take out that component. I feel that Tony may have plateaued. This may be the Tony that we saw just last night, may be the Tony that we'll get, moving forward. Speed didn't look like it was there to me. His power didn't look like it was there to me. And his boxing ability didn't look like it was there to me, and I know that Shawn mentioned ring rust, and I'm a fighter that doesn't really believe in ring rust, so it's hard for me to contribute it being that, but you do have to take into account that he has been out of the ring for some time as well. At any rate, I really didn't see draw in that fight. I thought that
Perrella won.
I thought that Perrella deserved the victory. I thought that even earlier on in the fight, he really came to work last night. I thought he lost like rounds 1, 2, and 3, and even 3. I was like, man, that's kind of a swing round. And if Tony doesn't do anything different, this is going to start to, get a little hotter than Tony wants. And sure enough, I really felt like rounds 4 to the end were really controlled. And there were some other rounds that were, a little bit more back and forth, but I felt like Perrella controlled a majority of the fight.
And then he got hit with a big shot, and I thought Tony was about to go to sleep.
He just seemed off. Like everything just seemed off. Like Shawn, when you were listing everything, like the defense wasn't there. His, usual quickness, being able to kind of get around a shot and then return one, everything just seemed kind of off. So I don't know if it's it is definitely a combination of what both Shawn said. Ring rust, obviously losing his father, which is massive in your life, and then factoring in the small equation of boxing.
Yeah.
And then even kind of just underestimating. It was just kind of disappointing. Get a draw, which is, I guess, I probably had Perrella by a round or two, but
yeah.
And maybe what Jermell Charlo did to him too. Come to think of it, right? We know about guys after they get a devastating knockout, their reflexes aren't quite the same and they slow down. And this has been a few times that Tony's been knocked out. And
exactly.
I thought that, just to slightly, disagree, Shawn, that I still saw some of the speed and the power coming forward. It was just what you said, the third thing, the boxing ability.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sloppy. He's just sloppy. He still, to me, showed the level of talent that this guy, Bryant Perrella, shouldn't have been able to hang with him and make it a life and death fight. So I think he can fight better than he fought last night, but I don't know if after being knocked out a few times and a guy that his punch resistance has never been that great, and now he's getting hit more than ever. I don't know. Yeah, but I do think maybe there's a decent fight there with him fighting the winner of Lubin versus Rosario if Jermell vacates after his big fight has been, announced or whatever. But yeah, we're all basically seeing and saying the same thing.
Yeah.
He almost has to. He's at that point in his career. He has to take that fight. What I seen last night, he's not ready. But Styles makes fights. But what I seen last night, he's not ready for those two.
I could see him beating either of those guys on a good day. But I think the Tony Harrison we saw yesterday does not beat both of them or even potentially either of them.
Yeah.
But
hold on to that word, sloppy. Hold on to that word.
So let's say we was disappointed in Tony last night.
So I'm guessing Shawn wants to transition to Demetrius Andrade.
Damn.
Yeah. Well,
I know we got one more on Fox, but damn.
Oh, I didn't have.
Damn.
I didn't have much on the other Fox fight.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then let's move forward.
Young guy got beat, but
damn.
What are you talking about?
How you know I was talking about him?
The young guy?
No, he's talking about Boo Boo. He's not talking about.
How you know?
Because he was sloppy yesterday.
Oh. Dang, you gonna do him like that?
Oh. But he was sloppy yesterday to an extent that he's usually the opposite. He's usually, if anything, too cautious and too calculated and maybe too technical. And yesterday it was, and if you look at the first 2 rounds, he wobbles him in the first round, he drops him in the second round. And when he dropped him, it was literally the most basic possible thing. It was off a break, 1-2, and he was down. And then, but yeah, from there it was not the Demetrius Andrade we're used to seeing.
My man got problems. It upsets me.
And he
I don't know what.
He can't have no fights like that because in the position he's in.
You can't have a fight like that.
And then they're gonna say you don't even deserve Charlos.
See, now here's the thing. Every fight. So you got to do one thing. If people are avoiding you, you give them a reason to avoid you. You don't. You don't underperform. You don't not do what you can do, not do everything you're supposed to do. That fight wasn't supposed to go 12 rounds. And so my thing is exactly what you said. My thing is we need Boo Boo to be in the best fights that he can be in, the best fights in the world. I said this on Twitter. I feel like he's deserving of those fights. But then last night doesn't make me feel like you deserve the big fights. And I know, and I know that this is going to reach people. And I know that the show wouldn't be what it is if I didn't say this. And so I'm going to go on record for saying there's no other fighter in the world that I'm more biased about than Andrade. Not even myself. I'll tell you that I'll say everything about him. I'll never say anything about myself. But when I do that, I need you now to back it up. Don't back it up because Shawn said all this stuff. Back it up because this is what Shawn believes about you. And you did not show me what I believe has always been there, which leads me to believe you haven't been in any big fights. So your training is not at the level that it should be in. You feel like you can't get these big fights. So you're taking whatever they're giving you and you're going in the ring with whoever you are. And now the thing is, if we give you a big fight, are you gonna underperform because you've been underperforming? It's unconscious, you don't even know. Are you gonna undertrain because you've been undertraining? It's unconscious, you don't even know. So I think now he's a more dangerous fighter to himself than he is to anybody else.
Yeah, my thing is, if you're going to have a performance like Boo Boo did yesterday, or kind of in general, he's not an explosive offensive fighter. Mm-hmm. No one would argue that he is. A lot of people think he's boring. A lot of people think his fights are. And ugly.
Guess what? I'm the only one that will argue that he is.
Yeah,
or one of the few.
I think he has moments of being explosive. Last night last night.
Yeah. Well, I think he's gifted enough to be, but I just think in general. So if you're not known as a great offensive fighter, you don't have huge one-punch knockout power. Mm-hmm. If you don't have that, you damn sure better be as good as you are normally defensively and just tactically. Mm-hmm. But you can't have a lack of explosive offense and then also be sloppy on defense because then what are you really doing? And let me counter your point, Shawn, about what you said about the big fights. I think it actually might help him get one of the big fights. And I think he actually might be ready for a big fight because, and Eddie Hearn said it, you saw him get hit. He got hurt. Why would you not fight him? Charlo, Triple G, and the Charlo thing has been going back and forth for so long. There was a back and forth with Charles Barkley and Draymond Green a few years ago where Charles Barkley was like, I wish I could punch him in the face. And they brought it to Draymond Green and he said, well, next time you see me, punch me in the face. Just do it. Yeah. So for if I'm Boo Boo, I'm like, hey, you think I'm not that good? You saw me not fight that well? Come beat me up. If it's that easy, do it.
Thank you for pulling me off the ledge because I was about to jump.
And Shawn, devil's advocate, the Ugas fight, you look like shit. And people thought you was going to get, you're my guy.
I can't mute you no more.
I know. Yeah. I know.
The mute gets like a week suspension. But
that was wild. Hey, everybody, that was Shawn. They had nothing to do with me.
He'll never get muted ever again. That went on record. I told you that.
Spence fight.
Anyways, going into the Spence fight, people before that if you would have fought Ugas or you would have just went Shawn Porter and just you switched it up a little bit, obviously.
Yeah.
They would have been like, and you dominated Ugas. And the fight would have been, he got a shot. It went from people like, that could be a good fight to Shawn got a shot because of your performance. Mm-hmm. But then when you go, we knew Shawn, all of the circle, we knew what you was bringing. But people really thought you was about to get dominated. Mm-hmm. It probably made it easier for Earl to take the fight, even though he won the belt, but that made it a little bit easier.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that
makes sense.
Performance.
Right.
Don't take that away from what that man has done his whole career.
Yeah. Why those guys still think twice about taking the fight with him.
But like, why would you just do it? Like, you can't. The Charlos, they're great fighters. They're both great pound for pound fighters. But if you're gonna talk like that, like they've both honestly kind of talked about Boo for years, then fight them. Then take. And Eddie Hearn said yesterday, we offered them a lot to come on the zone. If they don't want to do that, Demetrius Andrade will fight on Fox, no issue. And it won't.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
This generation just like dares to be great. Shawn, you dare to be great.
Yeah.
Do you just dare to be great?
Yeah.
Like, I get it's some money, but do you just dare to be great?
Yeah.
I want the best.
Yeah.
Some people just want to make money.
Because again, we're talking about those fine lines, and there's a fine line between being great and losing everything that you have, and being great and people respecting it and you moving forward, even in a win or loss. You know what I mean? And so, just kind of, I'll use myself as an example. It's not many fighters out there that can lose. I've lost now 3 fights, and I'm still regarded at an elite level, and it's kind of rare. I mean, we've seen it. Marquez and and Pacquiao, and there's a host of other guys out there. But did he? What? Hold on. What? Is he froze?
He froze.
That's what you get.
Classic. This is classic. No, you don't hear what he said though. He went out like a champ. He'll be back in a second.
I think the facade of being
he back, baby.
Defeated,
I froze.
And the facade of being undefeated, and the facade of kind of I'm risking everything. When that comes into play, a lot of guys are like, no, I'm not going to do it. And with that being said, this is the crazy thing, because I didn't take very many notes. I had the parties going on yesterday, the celebration, excuse me. So I didn't really, note things like I normally do, but I did note this as it pertains to Boo Boo Andrade. And I thought he looked bad last night. I thought he won, but I thought that he wasn't clicking the way that I know him to click. You know what I mean? When he gets in the ring, when he gets in the ring, there's an attachment to him, almost like my brother getting in the ring, and it's that real. You know what I mean? So I didn't see what I wanted to see, and I think that a lot of disappointment. And even with all that, if he were to fight the way he fought the other night, he'd still be a problem for everybody in the 160 and 168 the pound division.
He also won by a lot.
Yeah.
He looked bad, but he won was 10-2.
Hey, we hold him up here.
It reminds me of with Caleb Plant against Caleb Trex, where we were like, I'd like to see more, and we're like, he won every single round against Trex. Boo Boo didn't look great, but he still won by a large margin.
And so here, go ahead, Shawn.
He did look like you got to favor Jamal Charlo if they fight, and he comes in the ring like that. He got hurt bad by 2 right hands.
Yeah.
What was it? The 3rd and the 9th round.
Yeah. And
Charlo has a bomb over right hand. But what Carson and you were saying is so true about Charlo. It's been beyond time to step up for Jamal Charlo. He would. I understand his camp would talk about how there was a Triple G fight they tried to make earlier this year, but apparently, they didn't. There was some opportunities to get the Canelo fight. His brother's saying, that they get mad at each other sometimes, but he's saying he turned that opportunity down. When it comes to a Benavidez fight, he's talking about catch weights and that kind of stuff. The Daniel Jacobs fight, Danny Jacobs and him have that face-to-face, face off. For whatever reason, that doesn't happen. There's quotes of him talking about Andre. Well, he's not going to get any money. And I'm not going to give him the fight because, forget him getting the big purse. And it's just you're fighting Juan Macias Montiel. And I know he's got 22 knockouts and 22 wins, but it's been beyond time to make a fight with Andre or a guy of his caliber. So
especially if you're on the elite level and it's champion versus champion, clearly that's what we want. But even if it goes beyond that, if you're talking trash directly about somebody, Shawn, you haven't really you had some, verbal jabs, whatever, but not anything significant. But that would be something if I'm calling you out forever
Yeah.
And then, like, just do it. Just fight him then.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You're not going to have a rapper talking about another rapper without them eventually.
and then they don't like ever have diss tracks or anything.
Yeah.
Carson, how many years has been going on?
Forever.
It's been
forever.
Crazy.
Like, and so
5 years, maybe.
I get it. I think it's a great fight. The Demetrius Andrade we saw yesterday loses the Charlo.
Yeah.
That specific one loses the Charlo.
Mm-hmm.
Demetrius Andrade typically, I think, beats Charlo.
And this is what I'm going to say to that, because I looked at my dad and I said, this boo-boo right here struggles with the Charlos. I don't know if he beats the Charlo brother, but he struggles. I said, this boo-boo gets beat by Canelo. I say this boo-boo gets hurt by Canelo. I said, this boo-boo right here, I'm pretty sure struggles with Benavidez and or Caleb Plant. I think Caleb Plant, I think that one he could manage better than he could against Benavidez. But this is not the boo-boo. And I said, and this boo-boo might even lose to Triple G. I said, but even with me saying that, he still is a problem for all of those guys, because he has this element to his game. You'll never catch your rhythm. You'll never be able to catch your timing with him, because he's a little bit like Andre Ward in the sense that he knows where to play the game on the outside and then when to play the game on the inside. And that's a hard rhythm to really pick up. And guys that can play the rhythm like that, they'll lose a fight, but they'll lose on both feet. You would have never hit them hard. It would have been a boring fight that everybody was on their feet for the entire fight. And you like, damn, like I can't believe, this was. But that's who Boo Boo is. He's slippery. He's one of the most slippery fighters in the world. I think that he's got to bring more offensively moving forward. And I think that even the defense that he lacked last night, I think that he brings that moving forward. And he'll be all right. Like
that lead uppercut yesterday where you're talking about where it's just awkward. That's not something you see that typically.
Yeah.
He was firing that and landing it. And so that's something where it's just not expected. So, yeah, at his best, like if we see a great Demetrius Andrade, there are not a lot of fighters, I think, in his weight class that can beat him.
Yeah.
That guy yesterday, I don't know. He was really boo-boo yesterday.
Yeah.
And not his nickname.
So and I think that's why I'm so upset. Like I'm figuring it out. I'm upset because I don't know what boo-boo I got now.
Yeah.
And the boo-boo that I know is one of the greatest fighters in the world. And that's not the boo-boo that I got last night. Yeah. He's not active enough. He's not active against great fighters. I don't train with him, so I don't know what his training regimen is like. Like I'm almost like, forget coming on my podcast. Come train with me for a minute, just so we can make sure you good. You know what I mean? So, we'll see.
And Eddie Hearn also said he can't be at 160 forever. Like,
he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big dude, and it might end up at 68. But yeah, it was frustrating, but got the win.
If he could fight the way he does early in fights for all 12, he might be, the best middleweight on the planet. Because when he won his title in Boston, he dropped the guy from Africa, Walter Kotondakwa, 4 times. He drops Williams early last night. So I just think Shawn really he got at the best points about it when we first talked about him, which was, level of competition stays down here, and you just keep fighting guys like that. Through a lot of it's not a fault of his own, and maybe his performances are starting to dip a little bit because he's not having the challenges and the guys in front of him he needs. So hopefully he gets that, finally.
Even crazier is from a business perspective, and I don't know if I'm telling on anybody, but from a business perspective, I gotta wonder if these other promoters and people making fights, matchmakers, if they're watching, just like, no, we're gonna dry him out. It ain't even about his age. We just want him to get stone cold.
Well, thankfully, he's apparently making good money. He was one of those fighters that took the zone up on their offers when they first launched. So good for him in that regard. I think that's partly too why he wants the big fights, but you don't see him exactly dying for it. So.
Yeah. And it's always better. We've mentioned it before, but to go off his performance yesterday, it's always better to have a frustrating win than a frustrating loss.
Yeah.
Like if you don't fight well, you'd much rather get a win where people are like, "Yeah, it wasn't that good," than have that same performance and you lose. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it didn't end up really being the worst thing. But the last fight last night.
You said the last. Oh, man, it was a terrible day of boxing yesterday.
I don't know what. So Triller, by all accounts,
I'm gonna do like Shawn did and lean back on this one.
Yeah, it was a lesser quality or serious product last night by all accounts. My one major takeaway was the actual boxing match of the evening was Redkach and Prograis. I don't know what the hell I witnessed there. So he first off, it was if the punch landed that put him down, it was above the belt line. And he just falls down and he's hand down, man down, like rolling around on the ring. The commentary's kind of clowning him a little bit. And then they show the replay from a couple angles and the punch barely landed. Like it grazed his like kidney area by like a tiny bit. And they stretchered this man out.
It always looks worse in slow motion. I mean, it always looks like not too bad in slow motion.
Yeah, but then I feel bad for Prograis, and he kind of mentioned, so he doesn't get a KO, even though he clearly stopped him. And Redkach just didn't want to fight anymore and was down. So it ends up going to the cards. But yeah, that was, for being the actual boxing match on that card, that was arguably the most ridiculous of anything that took place. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have an issue with Jake Paul. I mean, making his money, I guess. Like, but
it's not for us.
No, and I guess that's the best way of putting it. It's not for me. It's not for you guys. But it is. It makes him money. It's just that it always is going to come back to is all attention good attention for boxing.
Hey, that's all you wanted to say about Regis Prograis?
Was there anything that I missed specifically about him? I mean,
we shouldn't talk about him.
Got a good check. You know, kind of a
let's talk about his check, maybe.
I don't know what you're even alluding to.
Give him Adrian Broner.
Well, yeah, like okay,
so maybe.
Coming off
I'm saying like we talked about AB, and we talked about what you know what I mean. Yeah,
I got you.
Beyond that punch,
I thought he beat a guy.
Now I feel like it's forced, and we shouldn't.
No. I thought he.
No, let's go.
I thought he beat a guy. I think I'm just frustrated by how ridiculous the ending was. He dominated the guy he was supposed to dominate. Redkach is kind of a character, but
character.
I like Prograis. I'm not confident, or I'm not sure what Prograis looks like at 47 against top guys, but
anyway,
I think he can rock at 140.
I thought he looked really good against Heraldez last Halloween.
Yeah.
And, I was hoping for him to kind of come out with a similar performance, but he should have finished the fight with the knockout. And one reason why I was hoping he would, for him, go out kind of guns blazing. Well, not guns blazing, but get a quick stoppage is Teofimo Lopez, we all know, is fighting on Triller in June 5th. And they're going to, if they figure to have any kind of long-term partnership with Teofimo, they're going to need opponents. So, for Regis's sake, you would hope he was going to bomb this guy out in spectacular fashion and not, weird,
ridiculous action.
Yeah. So,
I think he's a good fighter, though.
He is. Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's a really, really solid fighter, and I think he's competitive with pretty much anyone at 140.
Yeah,
because he didn't get blown out by Josh Taylor really at when they fought.
Shawn, you fighting Regis next or something?
That's what I'm saying. It was very like I thought I missed something.
I feel like you making an announcement. Go. Hey, the floor is yours, champ.
Yeah. No, Rougarou.
Okay.
Shawn prefers the Rougarou at Cedar Point, the roller coaster.
Rougarou, yeah, I do. I prefer that one.
It's a quality roller coaster.
Yeah,
but I think he's a good fighter, and I'd like to see him fight AB because they've kind of talked shit to each other for years.
Hey, old subject. Y'all going on roller coasters after 30 years old?
Yeah.
I'm not 30 yet, but yeah. I will.
Whatever. You in the 30 crew.
Yeah.
I've been on one roller coaster, that one over here at the Adventure Dome. That's it.
I don't do roller coasters.
I got no heart.
Hey, what's funny though, we got Cedar Point back out here in Ohio, and I swear to God, every year I X off a roller coaster off the list. Like ever since I turned 30, it's like I can't get on every ride that I used to get on, and I X one off every year.
Washed.
That's
I mean, you went
coaster.
skydiving, so you're a little crazy there.
Yeah, I'm done skydiving too. I can't do that no more.
Yeah, that was never my steez. But
yeah, I went 4 times and that was it.
Did anyone have any like extensive takeaways from Jake Paul at all? Like,
I did not.
I think, you know what? I honestly think for as long as he's been boxing, he's doing really good for himself. You know, all jokes aside, the kid's got some power in that right hand. I thought
Does he?
I mean, for relatively speaking, at a top 10 level, you know, winning a world title, no. I mean, those guys, I think, could eat his shot fine.
I say top 50. He can't mess with top 100.
I wouldn't want to eat it.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't want to eat it.
Yeah, well, he's also like kind of like Shawn said, he's 3-0. Like, so people are like, oh, well, who could he beat a world champion? Find me a 3-0 fighter and put them in with a world champion at any weight, and it's not going to go well for the most part.
It's crazy because with those guys and with the level that they're making money at, that's why everybody's mind goes there.
It's just accelerated.
They're saying, hey, you making money up there with the way those guys are. Fight those guys. But realistically, no, he should not be fighting anybody probably past 10-0. No. A serious, Olympian who's 10-0 as a professional fighter. He shouldn't be fighting those guys.
I don't think he can probably beat anybody in the Porter camp. And not talking about Shawn.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't think he can fight a real boxer. A real boxer like the way Shawn can. I don't think he can beat one of those guys.
He said a real boxer, the way Shawn and Kenny Porter do it.
I'm talking about a real boxer.
I think he could beat some of the guys real boxers fight in their first 5 or 6 fights. When you're fighting a guy who's 5-7, 5-8, I think he might be able to beat some. I think he could probably beat some of those guys. He's got a little talent, man.
Yeah, I just think he is what he is. He's 3-0. Like I don't know how to evaluate 3-0 fighters.
And I appreciate you so much for doing that, Carson, because unlike the end of the day, this is going to reach the boxing world. In the boxing world, this is what you need to know. You got to let go. It is what it is. The world has moved into this era that we did not, I guess maybe for the sake of words, probably the people who are surprised and annoyed and aggravated and mad, y'all didn't know it was going to go this way. Apparently he did because he's making moves and he's making it do what it do.
Yeah.
Why get mad? Why get upset?
I mean, I don't get mad. It is gross, but I don't. I'm like, I'm grown now. I'm like, it is what it is.
I think we're showing our maturity. Yeah.
I think you have to look at it for what it is. It was a 3-0 guy fighting a guy making his professional boxing debut. That's it. The
boxing world is mad because he gets the kind of hype and publicity that a majority of the boxers deserve.
But ESPN was all over it. I'm like, come on,
he
ESPN.
did this a different way. And
I was gonna say like tough shit. Like
it just is what it is. He did it a different way.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like so like it's a difficult comparison to make, but like Master P gets a roster spot in the NBA back in the day.
Yeah.
You don't think there was another player that could have made that team that maybe had played extensively? Like Master P was a good player, but like he was Master P. So it was like I just think, do I think boxers deserve more credit? Sure. Do I think there are boxers that should get the checks he gets? Absolutely, no question about it. Am I mad at him for getting those checks? And am I mad at people for being interested? Absolutely not. You like what you like. Different strokes for different folks, and I think
I'm not either. That's why I try to make a point of it to give the young man a lot of credit for how he can fight. I think he can fight. He think he could beat me if I got in the ring with him. But and I'm not hating on him getting his money. He's smart for doing what he's doing, very smart. But it's like a societal microcosm.
And
you can't hate the player, hate the game. But it's like, man, we've come a long way from HBO pay-per-view or Showtime pay-per-view with these we've had class and beyond class, the best versus the best. And this is boxing's fault. We we brought this on ourselves. You
look
know,
at it with rap music. I mean, there are garbage, horrible rappers that have #1 songs, and it's like, okay, but what about underground rappers that are actually talented rappers? It's like, sure, people in society like what they like. They're kind of goofy stuff sometimes, and kind of how it goes.
And to get rap, and to get into why society or America or whatever is so attracted to this stuff, and not maybe stuff like you said, Carson, not the good underground rappers or the good movies or the big fights, and they want this kind of stuff. We'd have to get into a whole other discussion about life and politics and et cetera, et cetera. But as far as this is concerned, Jake Paul is being smart. He did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
He cashed out.
Yeah, get your money. Do what you do. I have no.
And I got to do this before our guest comes on. We got Chris Arreola, the Nightmare, coming to the Prograis podcast today. But before we do that, big shout out to my man Lupe Fiasco. He streamed a performance of his first album, which was released 15 years ago. Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor. I would say arguably, definitely one of my, top 3 favorite albums ever. And I still keep most of that on loop. And so that was special for me to see him do his thing on that Future stream. That was tight. I know, Carson, I know you tuned in.
Yeah.
We bought tickets and all that kind of stuff. People were like, yo, you got tickets to that? I was like, it's Lupe Fiasco. So
it's a pandemic, damn it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to do what I do. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wifey didn't come up. She didn't come up and watch with me.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting time for an interesting time that we're in, but I definitely some all-time classics on there.
Yeah. And I'm mad at I'm severely mad at him and Royce the 5'9". I feel like they just threw me all the way under the bus. They rolled over me, and then they put it in reverse because they talked about me again.
Yeah,
in reverse and did it a damn again.
Yeah.
So did I not? I didn't read that wrong, did I?
No, you did everything perfectly fine. Your text.
Spit at them. Tell them what I saw. Tell them what I saw.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing, but they gave you credit for being a great boxer, which was nice. But yeah, that was it was.
But no, I mean the ticket. The ticket that I was gonna buy was like $100 and some change, and it gave me access for 2 minutes on their podcast. Now here's the thing: you're like, well, why would you pay for that? Why don't you just reach out? And my thing was, I want to support my dude. Like that's been, he's my guy. Like since 2006, since I heard Food and Liquor, I was like, I'm rolling with him till the wheels fall off. And the best part about it was I chose a dude that puts out very good music, or at least music that I really like and can do just about anything to. And so I'm like, I'm at home about to get it, but I have been going away from home for like a week. Wifey comes in the room, like, get off your phone. I'm like, let me do this real quick. She's like, well, no, you need to be off your phone and with the kids. I'm like, all right. So obviously I'm buying a ticket. Not a big deal.
Hold on. I ain't even got kids and I get that. It's going to be worse?
Yes, it's going to be worse. So I toss my phone to the side. No biggie. I come back like 4 days later and that ticket is gone. So I wasn't going to do nothing at all. I'm just like, it's gone. I expressed that to Carson, and Carson said, well, why don't you hit him up? I'm like, no, I ain't gonna do that.
Let me also say what you mentioned earlier, where you were like, why would you pay? When you were like, oh yeah, I didn't get this ticket. I was like, you literally have direct contact to Lupe Fiasco and Royce the 5'9". Yeah. So you could, if you want a meet and greet, you can just FaceTime him at any point.
And I think that was Royce's thing. Royce was like, yo, let me holler at Lou. No biggie. Yeah. But I wanted him to know, like, I'm supporting Lou. I don't, it's not really about the
conversation,
the face and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we'll get that whenever it happens, And so I come back a couple of days later, grab the ticket, and Lightweight was furious because that ticket was gone. And so I downgraded or whatever, but I did reach out to Royce. And then Royce, like, yo, have an offline conversation with my guy about it. Like, don't get online and then speak on it.
Yeah, they cooked you on the podcast.
So they get on the podcast talking about and Lupe like, yo, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, I'm watching the podcast. I'm like, you don't know what you have on the internet. You don't know what you're selling. Come on, man.
Yeah, that was all bad. But yeah, concert was good. I definitely enjoyed it. I know he announced that Lupe's going to do more shows, real shows in person, as everyone starts to get vaccinated and get healthy. But
and let me say this before Chris comes on too.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Lou, for doing that. One of my top favorite albums, Lupe's Fiasco's Food and Liquor, and you did not cheat us in that show. I mean, he went above and beyond, for as much as he could do. And he had he was in Dame Dash's spot, it looked like. I guess it was Dame Dash's spot. Yeah, Dame Dash Studios or something like that. That was wild too.
Yeah.
That was wild too.
Yeah, that was a good time. Hurt Me Soul, best song on the album, uncontested. But
it was really contested.
No, that was a good time.
Y'all gonna have a whole we talk boxing here. I don't know what the hell going on. Let's get back to boxing.
We just waiting on Chris.
All the way over here. Let's get back to boxing. Y'all lost me and Shawn. I tell we fell asleep.
No, I gotta get a quick shout out to Royce the 5'9". Death is Certain, one of the best top 10 rap albums.
These fools lost me.
Yeah, shout out to Royce. Shout out to Lupe for sure. You want to do a quick fan question there, SP?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get him until he.
So Josh Nagel Productions on Instagram. Favorite sneakers of all time for you?
Oh wow, I actually have the answer to that. Okay. Kobe Bryant's moon boots.
Oh no!
And I got a story too.
Please elaborate.
Hey Carson, is he talking about them ugly ones?
Yes.
I wish I had them with me.
R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah, R.I.P. Kobe, but man.
Yeah. All right, so like it's a new world. I moved to Cuyahoga Falls, and I'm in 7th grade, and I go out for the basketball team. Believe it or not, this is really like the first time I'm picking up a basketball. Hardly really played, but I'm an athlete, and of course, you make the team as long as you sign up, whatever. But I'm an athlete, so I can handle myself. And I'm not saying that I was completely brand new, but football and boxing was my life, right? So I'm gonna fast forward the story, right? I'm standing across from who else, Carson, but David Lane.
Big league, happy birthday.
Yeah, man, happy belated. Dave got on the moon boots. And I got on some shoes that have absolutely no grip. Remember, I'm broke. I'm in 7th grade. I'm broke. I had on some white Nikes that had no traction, shoes that had worn through the winter time.
Yeah, the lawn mowing shoes on.
Yeah. Listen,
anyone in Ohio knows.
It was so bad that before the game, I got white shoe polish and whitened them up. That's how bad those shoes. That's how bad those shoes was, right? So, but I'm actually giving Dave fits on the court because I'm fast. And my defense is like, I'm real, just like boxing. I'm heavy with him on up. And he comes down and he does this little shake move and crossed over. and I slipped and fell, man. Only thing I saw was I seen the moon boots go across my face. Right. So like I kind of was like, I was eyes wide open, new city and all that kind of stuff. And I just remember like, at that point in time, like I had never really played ball. So again, like being across from a kid as good as he was, as young as we was, I kind of was looking at this dude like I want everything he got. And so I looked at the moon boots. I was like, yeah, I gotta have them. You know what I mean? I ain't yank them from him. I wasn't living like that, but I think I have like 3 pairs of moon boots now.
Yes, that's excessive.
Oh, you're rich.
Yeah, that's excessive in general. But, so I
saw my CPA a couple of days ago. Yes, I am.
Hey man, I ain't mad at you.
Yeah. So you mentioned on Twitter, Demetrius Andrade was arguably the most underrated boxer. Mm-hmm. So Rube Vision on Instagram wants to know what fighter is the most underrated. So who do you got? Who's the most underrated?
I don't know.
You're overrated.
I don't know. Underrated. No, it would be Boo Boo. Boo Boo is
outside of Boo Boo.
I can't.
Anyone else?
Know.
Nobody. Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
I don't think anybody's overlooked. I don't think anybody. No, you know what? I feel that Andre Ward. I know he's retired. I know, but I feel like he is a GOAT, and people don't know that. They don't realize that. This man has not lost a match since he was 12 years old. And the things he's done, I mean, he had a tough road too, coming through the pro ranks. It wasn't the same type of tough road that some guys get, but he had a tough road where he just was underlooked. everybody would expected this big blast when he came to the game, to the pro game, and it really wasn't a big blast. And I think that people started to kind of doubt who he was and what he could do. And then before you know it, he wins the super six, I think it was, whatever it was, the super middleweight tournament that they did back in the day. And I think after that, people started to recognize who he was. But I mean, he goes his entire life without losing any matches, virtually his entire life without losing any matches. And people don't really even catch on to who he is until he fights Kovalev. People don't really understand what he's capable of until he's fighting Kovalev and he's almost done with his career, you know? So
can I throw one out there?
Yeah.
Keith Thurman.
You think Keith's underrated right now?
I do. I think Keith is just, and part of it obviously is inactivity, but
I can see where that's coming from, Carson.
I think people just put him on the back burner. It's like Keith Thurman has one loss, and it's Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, but he had a great performance.
Yeah. That was a great performance. He's beat Shawn Porter. He's beat Danny Garcia. He's beat a lot of those guys we mentioned before that are just kind of were the rough and tough guys. Like Keith Thurman's beat a lot of great fighters, and I think Keith Thurman is a player towards the top of that welterweight group. But
reminds me of Eddie Murphy, and he comes back and he does Coming to America too, and everybody's expecting 1980s Eddie Murphy. He's not 1980s Eddie Murphy anymore, and I think because people held Keith to this high level, you know, 4 or 5 years ago now, 4 years ago now, they still want that Keith, and we are not getting that Keith, whether it's a match or whether it's him on social media, anything like that. We're just not seeing. So? I don't think we're seeing that Keith. You know, Keith.
You don't think we can see that in the ring?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
He still got this.
I do know that. Yeah, exactly. I do know this. I know that Keith used to be so cutthroat. He used to be so no nonsense type. And I don't think, and that's what I mean by we don't get the same Keith anymore. Yeah, we don't.
Because I was going to say, because I think if somebody gives Keith a shot expecting not Keith Thurman, I think they could be in for a hell of a night.
I ain't doing that. If my dad came in here right now, told me we was fighting Keith Thurman, I'm expecting
grabbing your hamstring saying I'm out.
No. Yeah. So Shawn, go ahead, Zittel. Go ahead, do your thing.
Oh no, just about Thurman. I think. We were talking about how great talent Boots is. I think he's the best talent since Keith came on the scene in 2013, 2014. Mixture of speed, movement, and power all in one. I think that's how good Keith was when he was coming up. And I just wanted to add a name to the underrated list.
Yeah.
I know he got something.
Don't say Shawn Porter.
I think Showtime Shawn Porter. I think Stephen Fulton.
Boy Steph.
As much as he opened people's eyes against Angelo Leo, like I think he gives anybody at 122 the work. Anybody. Akhmadaliev, the winner of this Neri Figueroa fight, they're walking into a buzzsaw as long as Steph shows up in the form he was in last time.
Right.
And I think if Nayawa Anuye, for whatever reason, felt like moving up to fight him, he would get beat. So, and then as far as prospects go, Chris Colbert. So
do we want to, as we wait for Chris Arreola, the nightmare?
It's looking like he might not make it. So
I got a quick question for Shawn.
Go ahead.
Okay.
All you guys.
Yeah.
Will we ever see Manny Pacquiao back in the ring?
Yes.
No
question.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought okay.
No, I think
I'll give him a chance of maybe no. You never know.
I just think the money. I think the money's just too there for him. Like, if he's not like desperate to retire and they're going to give you this kind of check, like, I just have a hard time believing he'd be like, nah, I'm good.
And Carson, obviously, he have to fight a big time guy
for sure. Maybe
Earl.
Maybe
who else is
Mikey?
Terrence.
You know,
Mikey. We know what happens in Mikey.
Yeah, but he'd fight him though. Who cares if he knows what he's going to win either way?
I'm saying it's the money there though, because he only wants to get in for the money.
I think the money would be there.
People gonna pay for the Mikey like they'll pay for Earl, Shawn.
Not
Terrence.
To that. No, I think they would prefer those ones, but I think it could still be there. So we mentioned a couple of the fights. So Showtime came out with 9 fights coming up. And I know already that multiple of us on here have different opinions on this slate of fights.
We go with fan questions.
Yeah, we still have some, cool. But let's run through.
You say that every week.
We have a lot because we have a lot, but we also
I know
have
people watching
pressing-
is like, man, ask my question this week, man.
we're gonna ask unless it was stupid. But the so
do we have enough to do like one whole show
Yes.
with like questions?
Yeah.
Well, let's just do that.
we'll do it
Do that,
sometime.
Sean, on popular podcasts.
When we finish this show, then we'll
Q&A
record
episode.
another one like right after this. Doing
Maybe.
that.
We'll see.
He
All
knew
right,
what
so-
answer he was getting when he said that.
Yeah, he's crazy. So, of the fights, and I'm just gonna quick fire them, and then we'll kind of go back. So, Luis Nery, Brandon Figueroa, Nordine Ubali, Nonito Donaire, Jamal Charlo, Juan Montiel, Tank Davis, Mario Barrios, Chris Colbert, Yorkis Gamboa, Jermel Charlo, Castano, Rigondeaux against Casemiro, Benavidez versus Uzcategui, Stephen Fulton versus the winner of Nery Figueroa. I don't like most of them. Anyone else have any opinions?
I like most of them.
That I was waiting for you to say it because Ant was like, "Oh, I like these," and I was like, "I there are very few that I enjoy."
Yeah, most of those are good fights to me.
They
Okay.
are. Yeah, they awesome.
Are they? Like, are you really that interested in Jamal Charlo and Montiel?
No, you can't. Come on, that's one of the ones come on, man. Why you gonna do that? That's one of the ones I'm like, F that fight.
Are you dying to see? Are you dying to, Sean? You know how much I love.
I'm not dying. No, I'm not dying to see any of these fights.
No, but I'm saying of these guys. So like,
I know what you're about to say.
You know how much I love Cuban boxers.
Yes.
Do I care to see Gamboa and Colbert?
I
That's the
Absolutely
other one,
not. I
Carson.
knew you about
That's
to
the
say
other one. Now the rest of them,
Rigondeaux and
I'll take that.
Casemiro.
I'll take that.
Casemiro is going to blow the doors off of Rigondeaux.
I'll take the Charlo Bryant. That's gonna be entertaining while it lasts.
That one is good.
Mario
Tank and Barrios. Those are the only two that I'm like truly interested in.
Benavidez and Jose. That's gonna be entertaining while it lasts.
I think the while it lasts caveat that you're throwing in there is why I'm not that interested in these. Like I think Benavidez
Hey,
KOs.
some people said Sean Porter Earl will be entertaining while it lasts. It
Anyone
went
who
12.
thought that was just stupid. But though, yeah, I think Luis Nery. I think he hammers Brandon Figueroa.
Steve,
big size difference there.
Yeah, the Fulton winner of Nery and Figueroa would be entertaining. That's obviously towards the tail end. That's gonna be in September.
Rigondeaux, you don't like that one?
No, I think Rigondeaux. I think Casemiro kills him.
What about
He sets up an undisputed title fight, with Akhmadaliev, or I know there's some rumors Akhmadaliev will maybe fight Rais Salim. So that brings us.
And I guess there's some, like, if you play connect the dots where I'm like, yeah, after this one, maybe this could happen. But like the fights itself, like Charlo and Castano, that is going to be a good fight. I've
been asking for that for years.
Yeah, that's going to be entertaining. And then Tank and Barrios, I think will be entertaining. I think Tank wins, and I think Charlo gets a stoppage. But
yep.
How y'all see that fight going? That Tank fight. Some people talk to me. They thought it's a blowout. KO.
It's a big size difference. Mario Barrios is a big guy. He can punch, but he doesn't have the myriad of skills that Gervonta Davis has. I think Tank's gonna know how to get underneath and get to the body. He's one of the best body punchers in boxing. Tank is the truth, man. Is the only guy that could beat him, when he's fighting someone his own size as himself, and when he's fighting someone bigger, I don't think Barrios is at the level to knock him off. But Barrios, he's got a good left hook. Tank's got to watch out. He's got to come prepared. But
and that's the only pay-per-view. And that's the only pay-per-view fight on the list. And the co-main is the aforementioned Erickson Lubin versus Jason Rosario.
Yeah,
which is a good fight.
I think Tank will show why he should be on the pound-for-pound list, top 10.
I agree. I think, like you mentioned, I think Barrios is maybe just a little too average, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I think to beat Tank, you have to be something special, and I just don't. I think Barrios is a really solid fighter, but I don't think he has anything for Tank, except for that he's bigger.
Is Tank trending towards 147?
Well, that's crazy.
I mean, physically, probably, but
yeah, I was just wondering because he's a big guy. So you think this is it? 140.
I give him credit because I thought him really topping out is 135.
I think he sticks at 40 if he can. 40? I think he sticks at 40.
Okay, because I'm about to say if he gets up there with Boots,
What were you saying?
And the next
that's a great fight.
Boots and Tank.
Yeah, that's a great.
Oh, that's a crazy fight.
That's an amazing fight.
That's about 3 to 5 years down the road.
Now I think down the road, Boots would win that fight.
Y'all talking too much, and my man just signed off.
Oh, fair enough.
We didn't.
Oh man, but I love that fight though.
That fight would be crazy.
Here he is. That's
okay.
I love that. Just
Okay.
Hey, because earlier he said, "Are you dying to see any?" No, I'm not dying to see any. I don't care about any of those fights. But that one right there, yeah, I died to see that one.
The Nightmare.
What up, my G? How you doing, man?
How you doing, man?
You're still ugly. That's for sure. What's up, dude?
You got a good personality.
How you doing, my G?
Boxing right here.
How you feeling, man? You 2 weeks away? How you feeling?
2 weeks away, man. I'm feeling great, man. I feel
Very
good. I'm anxious for the fight about now.
I heard you got your weight down.
Yeah, I'm about down to like 240, 235, 230.
I heard that.
Boy out there looking good.
Yeah.
Boy out there looking good.
Trying to rejuvenate himself.
Trying to win this fight, man. This is a win or go home type fight, man.
I dig it. What are you expecting in this fight?
Action.
Yeah.
That's for sure is the action. But
yeah.
I'm expecting to be sore on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. But it's an action-packed fight, that's for sure.
And because we know it's going to be action. I think that's why this is a pay-per-view fight. And then one of my guys is actually going to ask you why this is a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah, I like the matchup, and I think it's a great fight. Like you said, it's going to be action. But are you frustrated that people are mad that it's pay-per-view? I don't think it should be pay-per-view personally, but does that kind of take away from it? Obviously, you're getting your money, so I'm not mad at you, but just in general.
I don't give a fuck what people think, to be honest with you. Everyone got an ass, so everyone has an opinion, so it's okay. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. I'm totally okay with it. No disrespect to anybody or what people think, but hey, this is a fight, And in all honesty, shit, I would have fought him for free, but obviously we can't do that. But they say pay-per-view, then pay-per-view it is.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't want to watch it, don't watch it. I'm okay with that. But you guys want to call this fight a joke, and I'm okay with that too. Come see me.
No, we're not going to
do that.
Chris, you're one of those old school guys almost. You dare to be great every fight. I've been wanting to ask you this question for years.
Years.
Years. It was in the mid-2000s. This guy, America, we had no heavyweight. The Klitschko's was taking over. This guy was running through. We thought we had a guy. That he was knocking out everybody, running through everybody. He takes a loss. Then he come back and he avenges that loss. Then he steps in the ring with Chris Arreola. Do you know who I'm talking about? And you said, I'm going to beat the shit out of this guy. And you beat the shit out of that guy. Seth Mitchell.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That was fun.
I said, man, come on, Chris.
It was a fun fight, man. No disrespect toward him, because shit, he deserved to be right there. He was like you said, he was knocking motherfuckers out. He was doing what he was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
But my boxing love wouldn't let me lose to someone that just
right
got into boxing because he got the size. My respect goes out to him. He did what he was supposed to, but you can't teach size.
Yeah.
At all. There's a couple boxers out there that I wouldn't mind fighting that were just in boxing just because they have the size. And you know what? My respect goes out to them.
It's more it's more of a personal thing for you then.
Yeah, to me,
I put the work in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in this game too long to lose to somebody that's just, Johnny come lately kind of thing. And I didn't want to lose to him. No disrespect toward him. He did his thing and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. But
I got a quick dose of PTSD. I got a quick dose of PTSD, and then I'm gonna let y'all get back to the interview. But that's exactly what I was thinking the first time I fought Daniel Jacobs. He had only been fighting maybe a year, and I had been fighting, I think at that point in time, like 6 or 7 years. And I was like, there's no way this dude's gonna beat me. and it happened. So that PTSD just showed up. But yeah, go continue on whatever y'all was talking about.
We're done.
Hey Chris, man, I just because talking about it was personal with Seth. Is it personal? Because I heard you say we could fight for free. Is it personal with Andy or just because you mentioned fighting for free?
I personally take every fight personal. I like fighting. I love fighting. I ain't gonna lie, man. If you ask me to fight in the backyard, fuck it, let's do it. That'll be fun. Ain't nothing like one-on-one fighting.
My dude said that'll be fun.
One-on-one to me is the best kind of fighting. There's kind of respect. You're getting respect for one another. Yeah. At the end of the day, whether you lose or you win, there's that respect that, we fought it out one-on-one. The best man won. There's been times that I got my ass handed to me. You know what? Get up, smile, and be like, congratulations, sir.
Mm-hmm. How do you think, obviously your experience, how does Chris Arreola beat Andy Ruiz?
Capitalize on mistakes. That's one of the main things. Got to capitalize on whatever mistakes he does. Don't get hit. That's another thing, because he got those bombs coming. The best person I could describe him to the person I fought is probably Stavern. Stavern is one of those guys that fast hands, and it's not that it's fast, it's just that it's fast out the draw, like a gunslinger, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And those are the shots that you get hurt with, the ones that you don't see coming. So you got to prepare it even when you're not ready.
I had one go ahead, Ant.
Hey, Chris, where did you get the love for boxing? Was you just beating people's ass in the street? Like, where did this come from?
Never. I've never been in a street fight, man.
I don't believe
I slapped the shit out of a lot of people.
Yeah, okay, I don't believe that.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to say.
Believe that.
But I've never been in a street. I got sued for slapping a guy, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, hey, why is every fighter's go-to punch in the street that slap?
Oh, no, I ain't gonna beat. Well, you know what? I've always said, I ain't gonna punch no one because they ain't worth the aggravation.
Hey, Chris,
worth me.
Is this case closed? I want to know.
Yeah, it's closed.
All right, cool.
I had to pay that guy 25 racks.
All right, cool. We good.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I don't even know who he is, but fuck him. But so I have one that kind of left field, Chris. So you've had 2 fights that got switched to no contest because of marijuana tests.
Yeah,
you see these sports that are starting to kind of well, they're starting to kind of be more lax with that being a banned substance. What do you think about boxing? You mentioned kind of getting off narcotics and going that route.
To be honest with you, I don't understand why we're still being penalized for that, for marijuana. Because it doesn't benefit me. The only thing that helps me sleep hella good. Mm-hmm. Other than that, there's no benefit to it. None at all. It should be PEDs are the number one thing in sports that really has to be looked at and be enforced. As far as marijuana, like, come on, man. It's pretty dumb. After I beat Andy, they may take this one away also. So whatever.
Oh, man. This
smoke weed every day.
Hey, Chris, this is set up to be a classic fight, man. This will go down in the books.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. All my fights, I always wanted to be one of those water cooler talks. When you get in the office, you're like, oh shit, did you see the Arreola fight? Did you see such and such? Did you see the way he got knocked out? The way he knocked that other guy out? Whatever it is, man. I fight for the people. I give myself, like literally, I give myself in the ring, and I love it. I do. I honestly do. I do it for the fans. And the thing is, like, the average boxing fan could barely afford a fucking ticket. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And in order for me to I give them myself because they give a little of themselves to me. Mm-hmm. So I do it with all due respect, and I go in there to fight. And this is guaranteed to be one of those kind of fights that should be a water cooler fights.
Is that what you want to be remembered for when your career is done? Is being a guy that always went in there and banged it out?
Absolutely, man. That's one of the things that I do want to be remembered for, is that a guy that gave it all in every one of the fights. Win, lose, or draw, I came to fight, It kind of bothers me when people, disrespect me and talk shit about my style of fight or my heart or whatever it is. Like, you can't talk shit about that. You may talk shit about how I wasn't in shape, how I blew my chances, how I did all that. Yeah, you're fucking right about that. And I had fun doing it. I ain't gonna lie. I did. I had a blast blowing my fucking opportunities. You know, I wouldn't take shit back because, hey, that's who I am. And that's what brings me here. That's what now I'm putting 100% into this fight because I know this is like one of my last kind of chances type shit.
Yeah. And do you ever think that or consider, hey, what if I had this mindset when I was 25? You ever go there?
You know, of course you think about it and stuff like that, but I wouldn't have it. This is the truth.
Yeah.
It's the best way to describe it is it's just having nothing and then having everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of
that's why I don't blame Andy for him losing the second fight.
Yeah.
Dude, I would have probably been doing the same goddamn thing.
Damn.
Strippers and bitches and caviar on fucking women.
Damn, Chris, ain't
It's the truth,
we kicking him off. Yeah, we done with
No, he's doing great. Chris, if you could avenge one of your losses, who you picking?
Klitschko, the first Klitschko fight.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. You know, that fight I was really doing my best in it, but Klitschko was just
big. He looked very big.
Not just that he was big, but he was smart in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like he moved, but he didn't waste energy. If it makes any sense, it was just everything was just so methodical, so smart in that ring.
You think he would have beat Fury, Chris?
Who, Vitali?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, absolutely he would have. I personally feel that Vitali was a better Klitschko out of the two because Vitali was the one that had the balls. Vitali was the one that came to avenge Vladimir a couple times. You know, Big Brother had to come and step in and to take care of shit. But yeah, absolutely. I think Vitali beats Fury easily. Not, you know what? Not easily, in a good fight, and actually fun fight.
How do you see AJ and Fury going?
You know, I feel that Fury has more of a dog in him. You know what I mean? He has more of a fight in him, more of a willingness to win a fight. I don't think AJ does have that. He doesn't have that dog. He doesn't have that grit. He has that British charm. He has that British, cheerio, and then he'll go down and won't get back up if Fury comes to him.
Let's see. Hey, Chris, you're a realist, man. You keep it real. What are we gonna get you commentating or something? What is it? After
you know what?
Is over, man.
The only way you'll see me commentating if I'm allowed to curse. You know, a la Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way because I don't mean to do it, but sometimes it just comes out.
And also, I don't think anybody's gonna be like, "Hey, sir, watch your language."
Nah, I'll keep them tamed.
Put down.
I'll keep them tamed.
Hey, you could drive right up the street to Fox, man. That's a nice little drop.
Take over Shawn. He's got enough going on.
Yeah, come on, Chris.
It's nice.
Let's do it.
You know what? I might give it a try after this boxing career is over. See what Al says. See if I get a chance. You should.
And hopefully they put me right next to you so I could bump you like, hey, take it easy. Hey, Chris, good luck, man. I'm excited for the fight. I'm excited. I don't care that it's on pay-per-view. I will be tuned in. I'll actually be there commentating. So I'll see you over there.
We'll tune in.
Question for him, Shawn.
Thank you.
And
if you don't want it tonight,
so.
you know, there's a lot of websites out there that you can find a free.
Hey, Chris,
Not on here. Not on here. Don't do that here. This is the Point Away podcast.
Shit, you know people still doing it, man.
Chris, bye.
Allegedly.
You can't talk to Chris. You can't talk to this.
Allegedly. Good luck,
bro.
big dog.
Oh my God,
bro! I remember when we used to go to the neighbor's house because they had a black box and watch all the fights.
Yeah, that was a good time.
I'm hood, man.
Yeah,
you gotta find a way to watch the fights.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Good luck, Chris. I'll see you in about a week.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate all right, man. Stay blessed, man.
Yep.
Remove.
That dude is crazy.
Remove.
Hey, he broke the F-bomb record. I don't know who had it before, but he had it now.
You know what's a trip about him fighting Andy Ruiz is we never had a Mexican or Mexican-American fighter challenge for the heavyweight title. And then here comes Chris Arreola, heavy guy, kind of fat, and he comes in and he challenges for the heavyweight championship of the world against Vitali. And then just about a decade later, a guy from almost the same spot of Southern California, that guy, he was almost like an evolution. Like he was like a Charmeleon to Charmander. He was like Chris Arreola with faster hands and more power, and then he gets it done. So
I hope he sees this and hear you call him fat. Both
he waited until Arreola got off. Then he was
Hey, Shawn, you my guy. I ain't getting involved.
I swear, the only reason I said fat is because I heard Chris in the back of my head say, "Fuck it, bro. You can call me fat. It's okay." I heavy, sad, big, and I said Chris would say, "Fuck it, bro. Just call me fat." So
what a guy.
Yeah.
I still don't like the fights on pay-per-view, but
right, Chris, please don't come at me, Yeah. So, yeah.
What a guy.
And what you doing for the pay-per-view? I know we 2 weeks away, but what you doing for that?
Are we allowed to do stuff?
I'm asking you. What you waiting? You waiting until June, or you waiting?
I ain't gonna be able to get my man Carson at my house. He ain't budging. When you budging?
It depends on it. I mean, if there is
if I keep it up, if I keep it light.
Hey, listen.
If I keep it light,
listen. Carson went and got his shots, right?
We're doing something in my house.
I got one shot.
Carson went. Oh, you still getting? You got to get the other one, right?
I got another one coming.
He gonna get the other one. He gonna be like, yeah.
We're in there. All right, Carson.
I'm gonna stay here.
Carson made it first. What you thinking? Keep it under 10?
Yeah, keep it under 10. I'm gonna still have a mask on. I'm gonna still be in the corner.
All right.
Out.
Both of the Shawn's gonna be at the fight because you know how they get down.
Yeah, you know.
The wealthy.
Why not?
Hey, well, right. come over to Shawn. Come on.
We are well past our time.
What you say?
We are well past our time today.
It's okay.
We don't have like a hard deadline, but I enjoy that you say that anyway.
Yeah, I know. Like we don't get paid.
We're getting word from the producers. That we
the light. Yeah, they gave me the light.
They gave me the thing. They gave me the wrap it up. Chappelle show.
Yeah.
Never been a 4-belt champion at 154 ever. So Jermell Charlo got a chance to do that. So
okay.
Boom.
Hey, we need y'all to like, subscribe. Appreciate the love.
Keep sending questions.
Let me tell y'all this. This podcast is going to another level very, very soon. We're gonna make this bad boy over, make it look sweet again. And we got some merchandise coming. They call it merch. I call it merchandise. So be looking out for that.
All right.
God bless y'all. Have a great day. If you get a chance, make it the Porter way.
The Porter way.
There you go.
I thought that was your son.
Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday, something new for you right here on the Porter Way Podcast.